Just to start, what's different about those guys? I mean, they're obviously, I'm sure they play the same system, but obviously scoring a little bit more. What's different about how they're operating? What's kind of making them better so far?
Well, I think, one thing when you look at Wisconsin, you're looking at a veteran basketball team, and with Brust and Gasser and Decker and Kaminsky and Jackson, when you look at their better teams over the years, they've got veterans, and you're talking about 5 veterans in their starting lineup. And so I think that's, how much better are they than a year ago? I don't know that, because until you see a team in person, that's when you can get a better feel. But when you're in the Big Ten and you put 5 veterans on the court who have played in this league and been through the battles, then you're going to have an opportunity to be as good as you can be, and that's what they are right now. They're a very talented, very tough team that passes the basketball, a team that shares the ball, a team that doesn't care who scores, and so they've got a team that I think Coach Ryan likes to have.
I think the last time you played Wisconsin, which would have been the Big Ten tournament, I think Kaminsky had 15 minutes, didn't score a point. Just talk about how different his role and his game is now.
Well, I think, again, he had the tough injury. And matter of fact, that happened here a year ago when he got hit in the eye, and it really set him back for the year. And to see his development, there's no question. He's developed into a very good three-point shooter. He's developed into a very good post player. He can go left shoulder, right shoulder, doesn't matter. And again, he's a guy they can really play through or play to. And so he's definitely made some big strides.
What do you think your guys learned at Penn State that's going to help them in this game?
Well, I think every time you have a team that is growing, and that's what we are. We're a growing, learning team. I think they saw, the opportunity, Again, I look at our games and go, okay, Illinois was a great game. We fought. We didn't get the win, but we saw what life on the road was like. We come back with Michigan State. It's a tough game. They're a veteran, talented team. Then you go to Penn State, and you're playing a team that, again, if you listen to their coach, they felt like this was the game they had to get. So you knew you were walking into that environment. And what I saw was a group of guys that really came together. We're down 13-14, and we were really playing hard, and some shots weren't going in, but we were playing the right way. And that's what Coach Crean kept saying to him in the timeouts. We're playing the right way. It'll start happening for us. And then it did. Shots started going down. The ball was moving. And I saw us really develop a toughness and an identity that we've got to continue to build on. You can't get at one game and then lose it, but there's no question. I saw a team that was really sharing the basketball, and different guys were scoring, and we became very difficult to guard.
Are there any parallels between that game and then the one against NC State a couple of years ago that really helped you guys move forward?
Well, I hope so. But again, when you're dealing with a group of young guys that hasn't had many of these experiences, and then I hope it shows them you can go on the road, you can be down, and if you keep the right mindset and keep playing together and keep guarding and keep rebounding, you'll get your opportunities. And hopefully we learned that lesson and we'll continue to build on it.
Would you anticipate Hollowell playing tomorrow, or where does that stand?
He'll play when he plays.
Steve, the Wisconsin just doesn't turn the ball over. They're like 8 turnovers.
They don't.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? I mean, does that even put even more of a premium for you guys to not turn the ball over, to be maybe the best you've been this year in that category, because they're not going to beat themselves?
Well, and again, coaches talked about it every day. We continue to stress it. There's no question. You can't have empty possessions against Wisconsin. And so, but it's every game. Wisconsin's always been that way. They don't turn it over. And so, But there's no question it becomes a bigger priority every game that we've got to take care of the basketball, and we did a better job at Penn State. I believe in the last 8 minutes we had 1 turnover, and really showed again what your question was. You saw a team starting to understand this is how you win, this is how you come back, and so we'll continue to get better at it.
What do you think of Stan's progress, especially the last couple of games?
Well, I think every game gets a better feel for what the Big Ten Conference is, and he understands more and more the importance of every possession. I think when you have, and when I say young players, they're not young. They've played 16 Division I basketball games. But when you get into Big Ten play, you start understanding possessions are hard to get. And so you better value every one of them even more. And I've seen us in 3 games already start to understand that better and better. And there's no question Stan does.
Go ahead.
As you said, the first 10 minutes or so, the way that Noah was demanding the ball and that, I mean, how do you get him to do that for longer periods?
Well, and he will. I don't have any question about it. And then you give Penn State a little credit. They decided they better start doing something different on him and trying to get him out of there and trying to front him, which then opened up other things for other people. And so, but as you know, Coach has talked about it many times. We continue to try to get him to make the demand to want that basketball every possession. Doesn't mean he'll get it every possession, but he was demanding it. And, sometimes, because people always want to look at the end of the day and go, well, he got 6 shots. That's not enough. Well, they don't take into account the number of fouls he drew because he was posting hard. He gets fouled. Well, he didn't get a shot out of that, but we got a foul. That got us closer to the bonus. That got us closer to the double bonus. And sometimes they forget the high number of free throws he's shooting. And so, I see him just continue to get better every game at it. Hopefully he'll just continue to demand it more, because I know this, our guys will throw it to him. And because they understand when we can play through him, it makes it easier on everybody.
They are obviously playing with Gosser back, and they've also got Jackson there and McClain coming off the bench. A lot of guys that can handle it. What's that done for them, just to have just a bunch of guards and guys that you're comfortable bringing the ball up?
Well, I think this, and I read one of the articles today where Gasser talked about how excited he was to get here a year ago, having to sit out and watch it. But he's a veteran guy. You look at their game notes, and he's in their top 10 in three-point attempts, top 10 in assists of where he's going to end in his career. And so, you put him with Brust and then Jackson, that's 3 veteran guys that have been through some very difficult situations. And it takes a lot of the pressure off Koning coming in, because even when he comes in, he's still out there with 2 veterans. And, I think that's the part that's gotten missed in their team is the play of their bench. Hayes comes in and he's drawing fouls. He gets to the rim. He's aggressive in the post. And, he gives them a good, different look in the post when Kaminsky's out. And so I think anytime you have that, that's a good thing. And but he's played really well for him.
Coach, you talked about Nigel Hayes for a second. Is there a reason why he's scoring a little bit more the past 5 games? I think he's up to like 13 in the past 5 games. He's only averaging 6.5 during the season.
Well, I think like every freshman in the country, I think those veteran teammates are getting more comfortable with him, and they figured out he's going to take care of the basketball, not turn it over, and he's going to be productive. And sometimes you have to earn that. And especially when you got a veteran team like they do, and there's no question he's earned that now, and you see them going to him in tough situations.
Coach talked on his post on Twitter, talked about this morning about Will's game on Saturday. Basically, he said that he was battling an injury. Also said, I guess he gave a speech, pregame that sort of had everybody pretty fired up. I guess, what did he say to the guys basically, and what was he fighting through injury-wise?
Well, we were doing a drill in practice, and he went up and shot faked, and somebody jumped and came right down on top of him. And so to say what the injury was, I'm not sure, but he went down pretty hard. But you know, and what he said in the locker room is nothing more than what any veteran should say to a team going on the road in the Big Ten. That it's 40 minutes. It's every possession. And you can't back off one bit, because every team in this league's got someone that can take advantage of it. And you know, again, it was things that him and Yogi have experienced that a lot of other guys haven't. And they continue to preach it. And, you know, I think like everything, coaches can say it, coaches can preach it. Players that have been through it can demand it, and that's what he demanded out of them. That we're all going to bring it for 40 minutes, and let it go however it goes.